Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Build with AI. In this channel, we learn AI frameworks, core concepts and real-world projects step by step. So you don't just understand AI, you actually build with it. This is the first video of our MCP playlist. In this playlist, you will learn basics of MCP, how MCP works internally, MCP components like tools, resources and prompts, and finally the real projects using MCP. Today, we will be learning the basics of MCP. By the end of this video, you will clearly understand what MCP is, the problem MCP solves, and the applications of MCP. So if you are into AI, agents, LLMs, or building real applications, this series is for you. Let's start. First of all, what is MCP? MCP is a standard way to connect AI applications with external systems. In simple words, MCP helps AI models talk to tools, data sources, and other applications. Here, when we say AI applications, we are mainly talking about MCP clients. These MCP clients are responsible for running and communicating with MCP servers. On the other side, external systems can be understood as MCP servers. These servers provide things like tools, data, functions, resources, prompts, or any external capability that the AI needs. So in very simple terms, MCP acts as a bridge between clients and servers, allowing them to communicate with each other in a standard way. Let's understand the simple MCP flow step by step with an example. First of all, let's say the user asks for the weather in Delhi. Then the AI application understands that weather data is required and extract the location Delhi. Then the MCP client sends a standardized request to MCP server. The MCP server receives the request from MCP client. Then the weather server processes the request and generates the weather data. Finally, the MCP server sends the response back to MCP client. For now, just remember MCP connects AI client and external servers so they can communicate smoothly. We'll discuss MCP client and MCP server in much more detail in the upcoming videos. Let's talk about the problem MCP solves. To understand the problem MCP solves, let's start with a simple example. Imagine you want to build an AI system that can read weather information, perform mathematical calculation, and also perform database operations like inserting and fetching data. If you were to implement this system in a traditional way, here is what you would do. First, you would build separate APIs. One API for reading weather data, one API for performing mathematical calculations, and another API for database operations like insert and fetch. Then, inside your AI application, you would write manual logic and conditions such as if the user asks for weather, call the weather API. If the numbers are provided, call the math API. If the database data is given, call the insert function or the API. If a query is given, call the fetch function or the API. You would also need to match exact parameters, handle different API formats, maintain all integration manually. But with MCP, you only need an MCP client. You run and connect to MCP servers that exposes tool. You do not need to write manual conditions or hard-coded logic. Instead of matching exact parameter or function name, you can simply write in natural language. For example, how is the weather in India today? Finally, let's talk about applications of MCP. There are many applications of MCP, but we'll be discussing a few of them here. First one is Collaborative Project Assistant. Imagine telling your AI summarize today's Slack messages and create a task list in Notion. Instead of you jumping between apps, MCP lets the AI read from one and write to the other instantly. Second one is Intelligent Code Researcher. For developers, you can ask the AI to check the latest bug on GitHub and find the fix in my local files. It connects the cloud to your local machine, saving you hours of searching. And finally, Personal Data Analyst. No more manual SQL. You can ask, compare my database cells to the target in this Google Sheet. The AI pulls live data from both sources and gives you the answer in seconds. This much in this first video. The goal of this video was not to go deeper or use complex technical terms, but to align everyone, especially beginners, at the same starting point. We'll practice all the examples practically and dive deep into each and every subtopics we have discussed here. If you found this helpful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the upcoming deep dive MCP tutorials. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.